Welcome back. What's up, party people? I got a great topic for today. I wrote it down. All right, ready? Today's topical discussion. Is it fulfillment or is it a distraction? What do I mean by that? Are the things that you're putting inside of your life and your lifestyle and your daily way of being, are they for growth and fulfillment, purpose and self-fulfillment? Or are they just more distractions to keep you from recognizing the self-change that's needed? Now, let me explain this. Sometimes we find ourselves really busy, right? With like external things, external responsibilities that we deemed a responsibility of importance. We pick up extra hobbies, extra responsibilities, basically. Like, it's hard to come up with an example. I don't want to sound offensive. Like if you constantly feel like you're running around, like you're just running around, completing little tasks, like just, I don't know, you just feel like you're running around, right? Like you've got so much on your plate and there's so many things going on, but you don't have time to sit in stillness and reflection, introspection, reflection, self-awareness, that mode. And we often have the tendency to confuse the distractions with that of fulfillment, because there's a difference between fulfillment, busyness associated with fulfillment, and busyness for the sake of being busy. Does that makes more sense? For the sake of being busy, and then you have to ask yourself, why am I so busy? Why am I creating such busyness? Is it aligning with this ultimate goal I have, or this manifested future that I have visualized? Is it supporting me with my job, my goals, my personal life? Is it flowing back into me in some way? Or am I just being distracted with tasks? Right? And then we trick ourselves into believing these tasks have to be done. I have to be this busy. I have to be this responsible for so many moving parts of life. Not even my life, just moving parts of things. Just need to be the moving thing, or be the head of all the things, or whatever it is that you're telling yourself that I have to be, or I need to be. Because you don't have to or need to anything other than work on yourself, understand your own emotions, progress from one day to the next. The only big responsibility you actually have is your vibrational frequency output. That's it. That's it. And that goes in with a lot of things. Your vibrational frequency output has a lot to do with the food you put inside your body, with the shelter you have over your head, the people that live in your safe space, things like that, like your relationships, your connections, your personal power, the way you love, the way that you receive love and give love, the way you voice your truth and step into your power, how you're able to manifest and visualize goals that you can then set intentions for and move towards this manifestation. Like, I just covered a little bit from each chakra realm: your root, sacral, solar plexus, heart chakra, throat, third eye, and crown. That's a lot of work already. Can you honestly say that every single day all of those topics are being addressed by yourself multiple times a day? If not, then you have distractions. Because that is the true focus. Because if you can get a handle on your self-mastery and work with the law of attraction and manifestation, then wouldn't you feel less busy because you're not hunting or seeking, you're attracting. You're not running. It's finding you in a place of peace, from a place of peace and comfort and love. That's how you know it's for you, because it's bred from a place of peace. Now, when you're running, and you're distracted, are you feeling peaceful? Do you feel peace? I'm sure you feel accomplished. I'm sure you feel important. I'm sure you feel good in other ways. But I'm asking you, are you at peace? If the answer is no, then you're distracted. Not fulfilling the true needs. We often think going outside of ourselves is the way to seek fulfillment. Once again, seek is that's we're already going down the wrong path. Because you can attract fulfillment if you work on those things every day, multiple times a day. And it makes it almost next to impossible to do that when you have 1,000 moving parts in your life. Because you cannot take the time to say, ooh, what's that tight feeling in my chest? Whoa, where did that come from? What did I just do? What's happening? Like, what is causing this? Let me look at my environment real quick. Let me figure this out. But if you've got boom, 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 you will suppress that message from your chest because you've got somewhere to be and a responsibility to uphold. So once again, we're shoving down. We're shoving. So we're going to miss out on our own opportunity to connect with self. Because that's the true fulfillment. Understanding self. Once you know yourself, trust me, you will not have 1,001 things to do every day. Because you will then realize and recognize that half of that day that you're just dedicating to these external responsibilities, half of that day actually needs to be spent on internal responsibilities. And we learn that the more we understand the human experience and the human conditions. And once we realize that without that self-awareness, we are mindlessly almost disassociating through our lives, because we are going from one distraction to the next and never taking the time to look inside and talk with inside and learn and understand. Especially like if you're one to receive like dreams and messages in your third eye, you're visualizing the stuckness that you're feeling, and you're able to metaphorically explain in imagery. That's your spirit literally begging you to stop and pay attention to it. It's sending you visuals, dreams, messages, coincidences, synchronicities, but we're too busy. You're too busy. All things important are self-importantly made things. Correct? Because what's important for me may not be important for you. So that also goes to show you the one who chained you is self. If you want to redefine what's important to you, you are allowed. You are allowed. If you consider something important that's literally draining the life out of you, you have no time to sit with your own thoughts, no time to ponder the world or put your confetti pieces together and understand the larger picture of all the information that you're soaking up and sponging throughout the day. Like, if we're not taking the time for those things, right? Oh. Change what's important. What's truly important. And if you don't know, that's okay. I personally, I hit up the chakra chart, I check in with that. I utilize chakra learning as a tool to identify the list of what to check in with, right? It takes time, too. It takes time. And if you're not taking that time intentionally, like I said the other day, it's gonna catch up eventually. Like, the universe doesn't want us to suffer. Like, God, the universe, look at spring right now. Does this look like suffer? I mean, if you have allergies, I apologize. It is a little bit suffering. But my point is, there's beauty and unconditional love sprouting from all around us. It's almost like saying, why are we suffering? Because we're choosing this suffering. Yeah, we have stuff that happens to us, sure, but we can choose whether or not to have that become something that is something that we suffer from. Right. Like, this world is literally gorgeous, right? Like, just think planet Earth, animals, plants. Don't think about people, humans. I know that's where things get a little blurry. But just think about Earth in its authentic form. That's unconditional love, baby. That's what that is. I don't have to be a good person to eat a mango. But that's what inspires me to be a better person. The fact that I have a gift like the sweetness of a mango. I feel like I should earn that better, right? Because of the whole energy and the rainbow fabric that is the unconditional love of the universe. So, right, are you filling your life and time with fulfillment or distractions? I use this analogy when I was talking to my dad. Helped me piece together my thoughts about this analogy, and then we both build off of it. Now it's like this cool image, right? So we both were talking about it in ways of like, there's a crack in your ceiling and there's water coming in and it's getting on your couch and your couch is soaking wet. But instead of looking at the crack, you're now looking at the couch and you're pissed at the couch for being wet. So let's say you get a new couch. You buy like a waterproof, non-leather, like you're like, I gotta get now. Apparently now I need waterproof couching. So you buy the couch and now the water's getting on the end table and it's getting on, it's just getting on other things. So now you're pissed off at the end table. And why is it wet? The sheetrock is getting moldy. What's going on? Why does it seem like everything's just stacking upon each other, creating so much for me to have to fix? Because you're not looking at the crack, the source, the original issue. And now you're filling your life unconsciously, but you're filling your life with things to be distracted over that induce things like hard work, stress, and labor, which we as a society have taught ourselves equals success and fulfillment. But that's not the truth. Just because everyone's doing it doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. Oh, I love this. My dad used to say this all the time to me, like, "Oh, if your friend's gonna jump off the bridge, you can jump off the bridge too." And I was like, "Of course not. I don't really get that analogy." But then, like, I see it now because we do blindly follow. We do, and then we compare with people on Facebook or our neighbors, and we're like, "Oh my gosh, they mow their lawn more than me," and like, look at their garden, and like, I should be working harder. I should be stressing more, like. Because, like, look at them. They're successful, and the only reason they got there was through stress and struggle. And stress and struggle equals success. It's not true. It's actually not true. It's not true. It's just not true. I didn't believe it either. I really didn't. I was like, you trying to tell me that I can be successful without being stressed? Lies. But then why did my body and nervous system, mind, and heart start to keep deteriorating every time I was in stress? Right, because stress is a sickness. Dis-ease, a lack of ease. What's the opposite of that? Ease. So what's that mean about avoiding disease? You must be at ease. That's where mindfulness, stillness, meditation. Look at all these practices. Why are they trying to get you to stand still, bro? Breath work. Because you need to be at ease. Stop moving. Stop filling the space with distractions. Stop moving. Only move if it's in the direction of fulfillment. Allow yourself to be bored. Get bored. Get bored, because guess what boredom is? It's peace. It's peace. Get bored, because then you can start hearing the inner world. Why are we so afraid of boredom? Because we're afraid of peace. Why are we afraid of peace? Because then we can cultivate and create anything we want. I think that's what's terrifying to some people, because they don't know what they want to create. And upon learning the truth of their own personal power, you have two choices. Work with it or ignore it and let your life go to shit. Isn't that crazy? So if you open your mind to that possibility, you now have a new responsibility, and you have to eradicate all the other things that made you feel important before, because those things don't matter anymore. The only thing that matters is that vibrational output frequency. What are you putting out in the world and attracting to yourself every minute, second of the day? What antenna are you putting out and snagging frequency waves from? Because that is responsibility, self-responsibility. You have to take responsibility for your life at that point. You can no longer blame your shitty job. You can no longer blame all the distractions you put on your own plate. You can't blame your family and the people that piss you off. You can't, because when you realize that all of that doesn't matter, because you're still sending out the signal. You're still sending out the signal to attract more of that. Doesn't matter if you're mad at it. Doesn't matter if you don't like it. How are you vibrating about it? What vibration are you putting out? Because that's what you're attracting into your life. So that's another thing. People will have to redefine their identity, which I personally look at as like, what? It's like a blank canvas and you just threw a bunch of paints at me and you're like, go to town. I think that's amazing, and I love that opportunity. But that's just me. I think that's a great opportunity. But for people who've lived in one identity for so long, people know them in that identity. There's a rapport built around that identity. Their family members rely on that identity. It's hard. It's hard to reimagine and redefine oneself upon learning the truth of the universe and how it works. Because now you have to put to bed everything, every excuse, every cry, whine, everything. Because if you're allowed to be upset, but if you're not making proactive changes in here, doesn't matter. That's going to be the rest of your life. You're just going to keep attracting the same crap over and over, cycle and cycle. Like, think about this. If it's hard for you to understand, or if it's hard for you to accept the concept of God, think of it like nature, okay? Nature's always gonna go. It's always gonna do what it's doing, right? Oh, crap, I forgot my point. Ugh. Let me backtrack a minute. I don't remember. Sorry. But the point is, it's hard to redefine your identity upon learning all of that. That's what I was going to say. Do you think the universe or like nature is hearing with ears that translate the way we do as human beings into vocal understanding? Like, basically, do you really think that everything in the universe speaks our language? Or just language? No, we're the only thing that has language. The only thing. Everything else is subtle energy messages. Everything else is vibrational frequency. So, if you sit in a shitty vibrational frequency, but you're saying, I don't want to sit here, who is listening? That is falling on deaf ears. You need to take that thought nugget idea, bring it into reality, and apply it. Make one move towards out of that. Now, you're vibrating at the frequency of change because you did it. Even just one simple, small, minute step towards change has now got your entire molecular structure vibrating at the frequency of we're ready for change. Because you proved the thought, which does not exist, until you bring it into your reality and apply it. You proved that thought to be important, an intention to you. That's why when we do intention work, you write it down. You write down your intentions. You solidify the intention out of your imagination and into the physical world, the reality of the present. And now you're vibrating for change. It's not about ears anymore. It's about subtle energy. How you vibrating. Anything. This is going to sound crazy, but anything that stresses you out and overwhelms you. Potentially not meant for you. If you tried 1,000 different ways to handle that scenario and it's still triggering stress and anxiety and overwhelm, maybe it's not meant for you. Because if the universe wants us to be at ease, then maybe you're seeking out something you think is meant for you and not actually attracting what's meant for you. Because if the opposite of disease is ease, then why are you pushing yourself into dis-ease to do anything? I read something once and it kind of blew my mind about the comfort zone. How about instead of stepping out of our comfort zone, we expand our comfort zone? We expand what makes us comfortable. How can we be comfortable in uncomfortable situations in a unique, personal way so that we can become comfortable with the uncomfortable? So then when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, you're still kind of wrapped up in comfort, but trying something new. You're still at ease, maybe a little nervous, it's something new, but that's normal. Those are normal things. But why not cultivate so much personal peace that your comfort zone expands? Because I feel at a dis-ease personally when now that shit starts to stack, and then at the end of the day I'm supposed to do something fun, like out with friends, like an open mic night. Hell no. I'm overwhelmed as shit. Now you want me to go socialize and potentially do something nerve-wracking? Which, if I was comfortable, if I was at peace, then I would be able to. Even though it's new and different and scary. It wouldn't matter because I'm not buried under my day. I'm not buried under seeking and hunting for distractions to make me feel purposeful. But then I don't feel purposeful because, well, you might, but then you're also drained and resentful and angry and tired and overwhelmed and stressed and have no time and blah, blah, blah. Do you see how quickly that, I'm overwhelmed thinking about it? This does not mean I don't, do stuff. I do. Make a little listy, and I get to my little listy. I definitely mindfully plan out my week so that we don't overwhelm. We work within that ever-expanding comfort zone. Because I have noticed it has expanded. Things that I wasn't able to handle before, I handle way better now. But it didn't come from abandoning my comfort zone and doing something terrifying to shock value it out of me. It actually just came from accepting where I was at the time and place I was at and being okay with that and allowing grace. And once I started doing things like that, my comfort zone was like, oh, we can grow because we trust you. You've given us grace, patience, kindness, attention. My nervous system feels okay to grow. My inner child feels okay to go outside. Because of the self implications of grace and calm. And if I start to get overwhelmed, I don't push through. I go, ooh, babe, ooh. I'll feel it in my cheeks. I'll be like, ooh, you're not okay. And that's okay. What do we need right now? I say this out loud to myself, and then I'll hear in my mind, okay, I think we need a glass of cold water and maybe a little ice on the back of our neck. And I'll be like, okay, babes, we got you. Don't worry about it. I got you. And I go and I do it right in that moment. Or if it shows me I need to be outside sitting on the floor, you got it, babes, no problem. We're doing it. No matter what I got going on. I can be 10 minutes late. Hell yeah, because I don't care. This matters the most. If this ain't doing well, how am I going to do well in other things? It's the most important. It's the only importance. So if you ever find your time masking your emotions or masking how you feel when you're anxious and overwhelmed and you're putting on a different face and you're becoming a different person to try and handle what you don't think you can naturally handle or authentically handle, you're doing yourself an injustice. You're doing yourself a disservice. Because when you work with who you actually are authentically, the amount of power that comes from that is limitless. Because also, everything starts to be at ease. The list is no longer causing chesty shit. Because I'm at ease, man. I'm at ease. Because I will never abandon myself again. Again. Right, we've done this. I've gone the opposite way. This is all personal experience. I've gone the opposite way. I've done the distractions. And my life bottomed out right under me. And I was like, whew. And that was all me in dis-ease. So trauma healing helps you reestablish that ease, cultivating peace, stillness, self-awareness, setting when to say no to things, even if they sound fun. It's not meant for you. If you gotta seek and hunt, and it's hard, and it's like shoveling. I don't know what's a crazy analogy. It's like shoveling snow when it's still snowing. Why? My question to you is why? Why are we doing that? I know it's old programming. I know it's what we're learning from others and what we've learned in our childhood. So, no hard feelings. Just want you to find this ease as well. I did not know that you could live and still also be successful from a place of ease. That every morning when I toss up my words of gratitude and appreciation, that's one of the biggest things I say in the morning is thank you so much for the guidance to building a life that supports me authentically in my authentic nature. Because now I can be at ease. Now I can be slow and deliberate and mindful. Now things aren't piling up and crashing down all around me. You know, I set things up to be spaced out. You work with yourself. And if you stop working with everything else and you work with self, everything else gets easier. Oh no, I promise. You want to come at me after you try it and it doesn't work? You're allowed. But give it a shot. Life is more enjoyable. Yeah, trust me. I was just telling this to my friend too. It ain't like I don't have my moments of trauma healing still. Even in my growth and ease position of my life right now. Because now I'm finally at peace and not disassociating and putting on a mask to be what others need me to be or what I believe I need to be. Now my nervous system is like, oh, finally, can we start addressing this stuff? Because, you can handle it now. We feel like you can handle it. And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. and then I'm on all fours in my kitchen. Crying with, the snot and the tears and the spit, all in a little puddle. And you're just but it doesn't feel like the end of everything anymore when those things happen. When that used to happen, when my nervous system tried to present healing to me, when I had all the distractions and the things I thought I needed to do and needed to be. Yeah, no, that didn't really go well. Because then you look at all the things in your life that are overwhelming, and you look at the experience you're experiencing right now with your PTSD and your trauma healing, and once you're in the moment of purge, instead of focusing on the toxins that you're getting out, you then start to match the toxins that you're getting out from your trauma with that of the toxins that are that are still in your life. And then you start to compare what you're healing and how you're feeling through that healing with all of the stress and overwhelm, burnout, and exhaustion from your daily life. So when you do that, how about I'll tell you, because that's what I did. And that was when I made the decision, this isn't worth it. Do you see why it's so important? I'm not saying everyone will get to that rock bottom place like I did. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying you're doomed for that. It doesn't always go that deep for everyone. But for someone, me personally, I feel so deeply. And if all I feel is pain in my waking life, in my healing life, in my nightmares, that was my life. Everywhere I went was just pain. And then my past would pop up and be like, remember this pain? And I'm like, yeah, I'm in pain. Like, I got it. Like, so coming from the depths of that, what's that? Like, take that and like work with it like Play-Doh and like put it into your own life. Like, when have you felt like that, you know? Like, and like that term that everybody uses that I had to Google the other day because I didn't get it, crashing out. I understand it's like a cutesy, trendy thing right now to say that, and everybody's like, that's fun, whatever. That's not good for you, though. It's just really not good for you. And, like, look, I'm, like, nervous. Like, it makes me nervous hearing people say that because, like, those were my steps to, like, the eventuality of, like, we ain't doing this anymore. So, like, crashing out to me makes me nervous and scared because for me, when I've gone through those experiences, they're not, like, just, like, over and, like, we can, like, put it on TikTok and laugh about it. You know what I mean? Like, so let's stop normalizing that right now because, yeah, that's not okay. Let's work through this as a collective together because y'all making me a little nervous. We need more self-love. I'm just saying. And self-love doesn't mean just like, oh, I love my face and I love who I am and I love that I help my friends and I love that I do this. Like, no, I want you to love your nervous system. Okay? The thing that you keep doing this with. Yeah, let's start loving that. I know you can't see it and it's kind of hard to conceptualize because you can't look in the mirror and do like an affirmation like, I'm beautiful, I love myself. But like, maybe start doing that. I like put my hand on my chest and here on my... I love myself. I love myself enough to keep this at a resting rate. Right? Like, if you can't, because you can't see it, if you need to feel it, get in there and feel your nervous system. Do that. Get in there. Because that deserves our love. And we cannot keep dragging our nervous systems through the mud. I don't know why we all think it's like an impenetrable thing. Like it's not it's like the most vulnerable thing. Like, why do we use the term exposed nerve to explain something that's really painful? Because that's your nervous system. It's vulnerable as shit. Did you know being yelled at is translated in your like brain and your limbic system, like all in there, as you getting the crap beat out of you? It's the same brain light ups and activations as someone beating the crap out of you. That's like science. I'm not just like making that up. I like blew my mind when I read it and I was just like, because like now not only do I have the firmest boundaries for how people talk to me, but it's how I talk to myself now too. Because I didn't know. Like, it doesn't matter. What's your tone like when you're, are you self-soothing? Are you utilizing your voice for good? For peace? For ease? Dis-ease. The opposite is ease. So to heal dis-ease is to become at ease. What in your life is stopping you from being at ease? Now, like look at it all, and you could start to make a plan. Ease. I never knew the word ease. Like, I never had been at ease. Upon feeling at ease, damn, everything does seem possible. Like, I don't know. Like, even if something bad happens, like, I know it's okay, because, like, it's meant to happen, and we're gonna, like, evolve. It's all good. Because, like, I'm at ease. I know myself. I take care of myself. So, every day is almost like, this is a little dramatic, but I was like, every day is kind of like the apocalypse. Like, when you're suffering with, not suffering, I'm not really suffering, I'm kind of, like, thriving with it now, but, like, with CPTSD and depression and anxiety and stuff like that, like, every day could be, like, apocalypse, man. Like every day I gotta self-soothe and like, talk myself through tasks. So, like, if the actual apocalypse happens, I'm still gonna put ice on the back of my neck and pet my face and be like, it's gonna be okay. It's the same thing. Like, just soothing myself every day is not gonna change, you know? It's just like, sure, whatever the next thing is gonna come, it doesn't matter because I know how to soothe myself. So, I'm just gonna be like, oh, wow, that's different. We're gonna be okay. Oh. Fulfillment or distractions? Because fulfillment, it feels a lot better than overwhelming distractions. I'll tell you that. So if you're confused, you don't know, the fulfillment is, well, very fulfilling. If you're not feeling fulfilled, or if you think you're feeling fulfilled, but you're also 1,000 other negative emotions, then you're only fulfilling your need for dopamine and endorphin and whatever other cheap, quick, you know, the rush of the addiction to your brain chemicals. Like, that's basically what's happening. The addiction to endorphin release and cheap dopamine. Doesn't last long. Doesn't last long. That's why you think you got to keep doing it. And now you've got 1,000 things on your plate. This is the size of my plate. This is my plate, and I keep a bunch of crystals on it. Like... Right? And then I'll take one thing of my plate at a time. It's not like you're denying yourself opportunity. Because once you finish the thing on your plate, then you allocate room for another thing to come onto your plate. It's all good. It's just about not looking at a mountain of shit in front of you. Just do one thing at a time. It's all going to get done. Like, you're good. Let's try for ease. How can we make things a little more easy? Or just how can we put ourselves more to ease? And stop thinking that all the distractions are happening to us. And start recognizing we are causing them. Subconsciously, I know you're not choosing to hurt yourself. I know. It's just like what happens when we are out of touch with our inner world. Well, it's a beautiful day. I have got some work things to accomplish. Got to finish wire wrapping something and making an essential oil blend. So I'm going to get to that. It's feeling like a nappy day too. Maybe a little outside. It's 77 out today. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Get out there. Be at ease. You deserve it. That's the crazy part. You deserve it. You deserve ease. Yeah. You don't have to earn it either. You don't. You're loved. You're great. You're valuable. You're worthy. Just be at ease. You don't gotta earn it. It's just right there for the taking. Trust me, it's okay. No one's gonna get mad. Just take it. And if someone does get mad, get rid of them. They're the wrong ones. Love you guys.